What's good, Josh? Your boy J Suave. I'm the host of J Suave TV. Yeah, I see the backdrop in this video, so you already know what we're here to talk about. I just got done watching the season 7 finale of the show. And after my very first run through of this finale, the only thing I gotta say about it is wow. Not that I don't like it, certainly not that I like it, just a big old wow. There were points in this finale episode that was entertaining. I'd even argue there were some scenes in this finale episode that were compelling. Not many of them, but there inserted in the episode. But it was so many scenes in this episode that I just found myself disliking off the first watch, mind you. But it was so many storylines that got introduced in this season. Conversations that were had that I expected to be followed up in the finale personally, that just did not even come up at all in this finale episode. Spoilers ahead if you didn't watch the episode, by the way. Please leave this video if you have not watched the episode yet. So we don't find out the identity of Angie's sister in this episode. We also don't really get any more new information on what Zuri was suffering from, the reason why she was in the rehab facility to begin with. And to be fair, you could argue that these things didn't need to be executed in this season specifically. It's just annoying when shit is built up throughout a season and we have to wait a whole year going into a whole new season for those concepts to be expanded on in the following season when it was already built up heavily in the season that we're currently on. This guy Nuck in this episode, man. Oh my god. Cortez Smith has Lena Waithe by the proverbial balls to be able to come out of this episode somehow unscathed. They really had Alicia go out so sad in this episode. So sad to the point where I honestly cannot believe that she went out as sad as she did. Not only did Shorty get baited in this episode, she then proceeded to get robbed by the same nigga that she sent to jail on the same day she sent him to jail. And then gunned down in her own house, all in the span of one night. Honestly, probably 2 hours of that night. I know I dropped a video earlier this week talking about how season 7 Nuck is one of the most underwhelming television characters of all time. The entire character of Alicia on the Shy is a level beneath underwhelming. The way Rosalind gunned her down in her own house, oh my god. And the funniest thing is, she gave Nuck all the grace in the world when he was trying to talk no jutsu her ass into believing that it was actually her who killed Duda and not him. But then when it was on the other foot, oh no, Alicia couldn't say a damn thing. Rosalind just had it in her head that Alicia was the one who did it. She was so sure that it was her. Now, to be fair, Alicia did have more incentive to take out Duda because he took out Q. That doesn't mean that Nuck didn't have some kind of incentive in taking out Duda too. He could have became the next Duda after the fact. And he did. He killed Duda, and who was checking him for real? The last person to check him on his new status was Alicia in the first episode of the season. And the other person who did believe the cockamamie story he told him in this episode being that Alicia was actually going to take out Duda. I just feel like for all the time this season that Rosalind was gone. I mean, what was you doing? You had to have been doing some kind of homework, looking into who could have taken out Duda. And all it took was one line from Nuck in order for you to change your mind. When you've been gone this whole season, what was you doing? How is Nuck's plot armor this strong? I don't understand. The brother brings nothing to the story. The way they be dropping people off on the Shy, he should not be the exception. I don't care. And apparently Bakari is supposed to be his security while he's in there clapping cheeks. I swear that scene felt like they wanted to parallel the Reg scene with Jake so bad. You literally got Bakari throwing on headphones before Nuck gets back to clapping Shorty's cheeks and everything. We're on the topic of Bakari. Let's just get his character up out the way for this episode. He finished his book early on in the episode and he talks to Professor Gardner. Professor Gardner says, good shit, you got done with your book. That's a great first edit. It's time to get an edit number 2, my boy. They get to talking about how long the editing process is. Professor Gardner says it could take a while. I did like to see what Bakari says that he appreciates Professor Gardner for being a father-like figure to him. Very good scene in my opinion. We also have Bakari meeting up with Lene in this episode where he thanks her for always being a real one, believing in him. And she flat out says she loves him and that she wants him to move in with her. Which if I'm Bakari, I'm taking up that offer all day. I didn't even know bro was living with Nuck this whole time. I thought he just pulled up on Nuck in this last episode. The whole time he's for real living with bro. Papa's folks really kicked him out, huh? That shit is crazy. All because of the dude that he's living with right now. But anyway, convo real cool until Bakari brings up the fact that Nuck almost died today. As if Lene care about that. Why do you care about that? This nigga literally only put money in your pocket. He do not care about you. Lene even has to spell it out for this nigga, telling him if you're watching out for him, who's watching out for you? Because Lord knows Nuck is not doing that. We end up Bakari scenes with Bakari finding out that Alicia's dead. He asked Nuck who would want her dead. Did you kill Alicia? He says, nah, it wasn't me, and I don't know why anybody would want her dead. Knowing damn well you're the one that gave Rosalind the tip that Alicia was the one that killed Duda, knowing that you were the one who actually did it. This man Nuck is so pussy, it's frustrating. His family was literally responsible for a whole family line being eradicated. Zay took out Rob's pops, and Nuck took out Rob, and then Rosalind took out Alicia on behalf of Nuck. And Nuck ain't have to get his hands dirty at all in the process. That shit is crazy. This now delays everybody finding out that Nuck was the one not only responsible for Duda's death, but Rob's too. Mind you, this whole storyline was built up throughout the entire season. And at the end of it, this man Nuck faces no consequences. So much more happened in this episode, mind you, but I'm just so surprised that this is the route that the showrunners showrunners decided to go with this final episode of the season. And unfortunately, I'm not surprised in a good way. Anyway, let's get into Reg's storyline real quick. So after a conversation with Alicia in the last episode, we see that Candace was responsible for Reg getting locked up at the very beginning of the episode. But he doesn't stay in jail for longer than 10 seconds. Brother is out literally within the first 10 minutes of the episode. Tucson go pull up on Alicia earlier on in the episode talking about some I should thank you. Like, have you even been able to get your son out here talking about some I should thank you? Last I checked, job's not finished. He's still behind bars and Reg is now right back outside. I mean, honestly, what was even the point of Detective Tucson if Reg was gonna get right back out of jail the moment she got him locked up? You seen her cheesing when she closed him in on that car door just for him to get right back out of jail. Reg later finds out that Candace was the one that gave up his position and he's just okay with this. He's completely fine with having a op in his circle because that's what Candace is to Reg, an op. She texted Alicia his location out of fear. Bro, even if she was scared, she's still a liability for that. Reg should not be comfortable having that around. I know that is Keith's sister, but in the future, she gotta be dealt with. There's no way that man Reg can walk around thinking he could really trust Shorty after what she pulled in this episode. Then she had the conversation with Alicia where she was trying to spare time for Reg to go ahead and rob Alicia's crib. And she's telling Alicia, oh, I think you're a predator, causing her to leave, cutting Reg's robbery short. Are you trying to get bro caught up? Like, what is your play? What is going through your mind when you make these actions that you make it? She talking about she want to go to Tulum by the end of this episode. You don't even deserve a ride to Walmart. We also got the pastor in this episode. I really didn't care for any of his scenes, I'm not gonna lie. It's looking like he's mending things with his family, which is good, I guess. We also got no mention of the gun that Kenya said she got from Zay some episodes back in this episode either. So it's literally just family bonding time from our favorite pastor. Yay! Also, no Papa and no Jake in this episode. Shit crazy. They really fell off. You got Kenya getting more time in the season finale of The Shah than Papa and Jake. Somebody need to write about that shit. We last left off with Trig and Tiff, with Tiff's water breaking and Trig saying he's gonna get her to the hospital, make sure she's good. But they first have to stop over by Alicia's crib to pick up this picture of Tiff and Rob before she can give birth. Because apparently she made this promise or this pledge that she would have this picture of Rob when she's giving birth to the baby. Alicia probably made her sign a documentation saying she would have that picture alongside her when she's giving birth. They get the picture, they get stuck in traffic on the way to the hospital. Then when they get to the hospital, they get stuck in this elevator on the way to the delivery room. So Tiff has to now deliver the baby in an elevator. Thankfully, they successfully give birth to Rob Jr. And all is good. Alicia's now a grandmother. She's talking about I'm about to pull up to the hospital and see Rob Jr. You've made me proud. Not realizing that Rosalind is in the other room, about to put her out of her misery after she just got robbed. When you really think about this though, all of this is Alicia's fault. All you have to do is kill Nuck at the beginning of the season. If you kill Nuck at the beginning of the season, all of this is avoided. I just cannot believe you introduced a character like this just to waste him to this capacity. I gotta make an Alicia video soon. And what's even crazier, adding more to the fact that this is Alicia's fault, she gave this man Shaw the day off. Of all the times you could have gave this man Shaw the day off, I mean, this nigga is looking to make bread. He's probably looking to work overtime all day, every day. And you decide to give him a day off for what? I'm sure he wouldn't even mind just watching the crib while you're not there to make that money. And the one day you give him that day off, you just get caught lacking to this degree. When I go to Shaw's with his shorty, he's telling her he's about to go clock in for work. Gets to Alicia's house and sees her body riddled with 4 holes, deceased in a puddle of her own blood. Obviously, this causes him to panic, so he calls Trig. Mind you, while this is happening, Tiff is confused because she thought that Alicia would have pulled up last night after the conversation they had. Nonetheless, Shaw's calling Trig, so he gotta go over to the crib to see what's going on. He gets there, sees Alicia's body laid out. They agree to carry her body over to the couch for some reason instead of calling the cops. After Trig clearly stated, we did not touch the body. Then as soon as they touch the body to bring her over to the couch, of course the cops pull up. And they both get arrested. Like, the clown shoes on these two. Why would y'all not call the cop? Y'all are not responsible for this crime in any way. Shad, you were just clocking in for work. If I'm Trig, I might square up with Shad in the cell. I ain't gonna lie. Just a real unnecessary bonehead play, but I would expect nothing less from Shad. Alright, now let's get into the shit I actually liked about this episode. It was really unfortunate seeing Jada pass, but I am glad she was able to see Keisha deliver the baby. And that she was able to have some closing words with a couple characters, including Tracy, who's announced she's finally leaving the Shy. At long last, Tracy has decided to take her talents elsewhere. As a fan of the Shy, I can't say I've been happier personally. Sometime after this, Jada and Darnell are able to pull up to Emmett's crib to see their granddaughter Jada before Jada eventually passes later on in the episode. Jada, Emmett's mom, not Jada the baby. Love the conversation she had with Keisha, telling her to never lose her voice. And then the one she had with Emmett was really good too. The only thing I didn't like was now she's reneging on leaving Chicago, all because Emmett hit her with a little talk no jutsu. I guess Jada just didn't really have much fight left in this episode though either, admittedly. But still, I think Jada was pretty valid in staying true to her wanting him to leave Chicago. I don't mean he had to leave, but I think she had the valid reasons for wanting them to leave. But it's like we go get more Emmett and Keisha in season 8 of The Shine. I'm not mad at that. Before she passes, she also says she's been saving up money for Keisha to start a homeschool. I guess that was a goal of hers. Maybe I didn't hear about. But yeah, I guess Keisha will be starting a homeschool up next season. Also, like the phone call call between Darnell and Damien earlier on in the episode, where both sides are dealing with different things, but despite that, they're still able to meet in the middle and link up one last time before Jada unfortunately passes away. Also like Emmett's isms in this episode too. He talking about some, Keisha, you Jordan in game 6. You don't miss, shorty. Brother, shut your ass up. Let her deliver this baby, please. Yeah, I really had to end on the things I like because this episode was real questionable. Off the first watch, I'm gonna give this finale like a 4 to 5 out of 10. I just feel like we had one too many missed opportunities in this one, but y'all let me know what y'all thought in the comments.